Good afternoon, crafters, and welcome to Season 2 of P2PCrafts Presents, brought to you by From Picture to Page and Beyond Papercraft shows. I'm your host, Michelle Brown, who's also the Creative Director at From Picture to Page, and we love to think of it as our scrapbooking, mixed media art and papercrafts community. Now, P2PCrafts presents a whole heap of demonstrations and chats with our talented retailers and some guest artists. So for all the details of Season 2, catch the replays, see all the links, or even if you want to go back and visit Season 1, head over to our website from picturetopageandbeyond.com.au where you can get all that information. And while you're there, make sure you sign up to our newsletters. Each week we send out a summary of who we've had so you can catch up on the videos or watch them again at your leisure. Now, whether you're watching here live or whether you're watching a replay on Facebook or YouTube, we would love to know that you're there. So pop in the comments and say hi. Let us know where you are calling from. And if you have any questions for myself and Tracy throughout this session, please pop them in the comments and we'll do our best to answer them while we're here. And then, of course, follow up over the next few days as well. So today, P2PCrafts presents Stamping Up with Tracy. Hello, Tracy.
Hello, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to have you back with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite. I'm excited to be back too. It's just lovely while we're still all in semi-lockdown.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's a really good way of sharing our crafts and catching up with people. And in a way, it's good for us to get to know each other as well, because quite often the shows are so busy, we don't get to say much more than a passing hello and goodbye.
That's exactly right. Of all the years I've known you, I think we've had the most discussions in the last few weeks.
Yeah, because I guess what people don't see live is that before we head here today, we've already done a few practice sessions, we've shared our projects that we're working on, we've made sure all the technology's right, so we are ready to go and bring our best crafting to our crafters.
We absolutely are, yeah, and I'm excited about showing people how to make easy shaker cards because they can be quite fiddly and we've got a lovely new sort of suite of products and it just makes them really easy to make.
Oh, I'm just so excited because I'm a card maker from a long way back before I really got into mixed media art and art journaling. And the shaker card was kind of that mystical card that was always out of reach.
Yes, and I must admit, I really haven't ventured down the road myself, only because I used to end up getting beads, all over the place, or sequins and things that were, should have been in the dome but weren't in the dome. So I'm really excited about the new way of making these, which is just honestly really is super easy.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we'll let you get set up and then we'll jump right into it. Excellent. So for those of you that have always wanted to make shaker cards like me, I hope you are looking forward to that demonstration. And of course, it's always good to see the new Stamping Up products and get a sense of how else they can be used as well, because it's really nice to have a range of cute stamps, to have a really good range of other stamps as well, and to know that you've got that in your arsenal so that when you need to make a card, you've got a really good range of things that that are going to fit together as well. And then, of course, we've got people like Tracy that are always there ready to go and help us out if we've got any questions. So it's good to see we've got Lorraine here today. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Tammy. Great to have you back. Good to see you, Faye and Joanne, and, of course, Mary as well. So it looks like Tracy is ready to go. So I'll hand over to you, Tracy. Take it away.
Thank you, Michelle. Please don't hesitate to let me know if there are any challenges with the camera today. We do seem to have a little bit of an intermittent connection, so we'll do our best to make it as smooth as possible for everyone.
Yep, well, it's looking really good right now, so let's cross our fingers and toes.
Absolutely, that's wonderful. Before I start with the actual shaker card construction, I wanted just to quickly take you through the pages of the products that we're using today, just so that if people have got their own annual catalogue, they can follow along or make some notes. And if you don't have a brand new Stamping Up annual catalogue for the 2020-21 year, then please message me via my Facebook page and I'll be happy to send you one free of charge as my special gift to all our Picture to Page and P2PCrafts viewers. So here we go. So this is the beautiful cover. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a shaker card, actually two different cards. One is using this beautiful jar. So the jar of flowers, I'll just turn the page so you can see and move that over. So you can see the beautiful stamp set here. And our stamps are actual size. So whatever you see in the catalogue is the size of the stamp. So I'm hoping that you can see that there over the top of the catalogue page.
Yes, we certainly can see that nice and clearly, Tracy.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you. So this is our jar of flower suite, and it comes with a matching punch, which makes life really easy. And I will show you how to use that just in a moment. And then we'll go on. We've got our beautiful, what we call snow globe, or I call it a snow globe, but they're calling it a zoo globe for this stamp set on page 54. And that coordinates with our beautiful domes. So these are our shaker domes, which are just amazing. And as you can see, they fit over there perfectly, and they come with a matching framelit so we can actually create the dome shape. So this is what I mean by, making shaker cards really easy, because we've got all the tools we need now, which, we never had before. And you can see this cute little elephant here. He's in his own little world of sequins and beads, which just looks adorable. So that's our zoo set, and then we've got our beautiful new whale suite. So again, a matching punch, and I think I did send you one of these cards, Michelle, to put up. Yeah. So I fell in love with this suite. I don't know why. I do not have young children. We have no young children in the family, but this suite just appealed to me. For scrapbooking, for fun cards, and really for great mail cards as well, because cards for men are always a little bit tricky to make. So I'll be showing you how to make a special shaker card with Mr. Whale, and there's just some more samples and the matching stamp set. And again, we've got the matching punch, which again makes life really easy, even with his little water spray and the whole works. We've then, of course, got two lots of domes. So I showed you the actual what I call the snow globe dome. And then we've also got these beautiful, sweet little jar domes. So they're really super cute. And they're all on page 158. And they, lots of sequins and beads, but you can pretty much use anything. If you've got confetti for a wedding card, you could dye some rice. Like anything that's sort of fine and moves easily will make a shaker card look really special. So let me show you the first project that I've got for you today, and then I'll show you how to construct it using these really easy domes. And we'll come back to this at the end. Okay, so this is a beautiful bunch of flowers out of the jar of flower stamp set, and using the sequins called the woven thread sequins. And there is a little bit of a knack of just getting that just right. I've added a little bit of Wink of Stella, and I've obviously coloured the flowers in with our Stampin' Blends. But let me show you how I initially put this together. First of all, I created a template. So I took a Whisper White piece of cardstock and my jar punch, and I popped that in as far as that will go. And you'll always find that you'll get a much better and even coverage if you actually turn the punch over. So rather than trying to do it this way, where you can't actually see, turn your punch over and you'll have much more control. You'll be able to center it in your cardstock and actually see what it is that you're punching. So we'll pop that out. you can pop that aside for something. You could make a little gift tag, and we won't be using that today. But then I've got my template. Then what I've done is I've got my Stamparatus. If you haven't got one of these, you really need to try and invest in one. They are just amazing. And absolutely, they're just foolproof. Anybody can stamp with a Stamparatus. Then I've got my jar stamp, and I'm actually going to tuck that back into the hole that I made. So there's my hole, and I'm going to tuck that back in, and then I'm going to close the lid. So if I close the lid and push down and lift up, my jar is exactly where I need it to be. Now I've got a brand new piece of Whisper White. I'll just use my magnet. So if you can see, this was exactly the same size as my template. I'm going to get my black Memento ink and just ink my jar. And I just lift up the lid a little bit just to give me a little bit more of an even pressure. And then I am just going to stamp that down onto my Whisper White card. So now when I pop my punch, that will fit perfectly in there. So really what you could do if you were wanting to make a whole bunch of these, you'd have all of this card cut. This is 3.5 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I'm an inches girl. I'm not a centimetre girl, much to my husband's disgust, who's a building designer. So you could have a whole bunch of these, stamp all of your jars, and then punch them out and then build your card from there. So it does make life really easy with a Stamparatus. So I'm just going to pop that to one side now. And my template that we'll come back to. So with my jar, just to get rid of the sort of overly white look, I've just got my soft light soft sea foam blend, which is our alcohol markers, and I'm just going to roughly just give that a little bit of a, don't need to worry too much, because remember the sequins or the beads or whatever you pop in there will help to cover that, but it just gives you that little bit of a sort of a soft wash, almost like a water, I guess. So now I'm going to bring back my card base. So obviously this is one I prepared earlier, as Jamie Oliver would say, just so that you weren't watching me laboriously colour in. And what we're going to do first, we're going to get our jar dome, and we're just going to take off our sticky back, and I'm just going to get my little picker tool here. So this has got a sticky all the way round. So if we take that off, whoop, see what I mean by it's really sticky, and then pop the dome, pop the card over the dome. And if you start at the top and just work your way round, that will push down beautifully. And to my card. So really, really nice and easy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over, and we're going to get a little window sheet. Now this might be a little bit difficult for you to see. Let me just get a little bit of darker card here. Can you see that window sheet?
Yes, we can just see the light glinting off it.
Yeah, the light glinting. Yes, they are a bit tricky. And can I tell you, this is about my 4th piece, because I've lost the other 3. So right a few minutes before I was coming on, I thought, oh, those pesky window sheets. So do be careful when you do cut them. But you need such small amounts. But the key is a good quality window sheet. So There's lots of products on the market and obviously varying quality, but I can obviously speak for Stampin' Ups. But as long as it's a good quality, plastic, and then your sequins or your beads will slide, you'll get very little static, but that really is the key. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop a little bit of our snail just on the back of our jar. We don't need a lot. And I'm just going to pop that towards the bottom of my window sheet like that. So I'll just bring that back in. I'm going to take off my backing now because this has got a sticky back on this side as well. Ooh, I can just get this off. Here we go. And pop in. These are our beautiful woven thread sequins that are just beautiful. So I'll just pop a few of those in. And again, they're quite anti-static, which is good. And then all we're going to do is actually be able to pop this back in to where it should go. I'm actually going to stand up, so I'm hoping that you can still see me. It's just because I am only 5 foot tall. And then that will just fit into there. Just give it a really good pinch all the way around, like so. And there's your shaker.
Wow.
So really, really simple. So then you can decorate it. So if I bring back my actual card, I added, this is what we call seaside spray, and I use that as my card base with a little bit of Rococo Rose, and I've coloured in the flowers with those two colours and a little bit of Daffodil Delight, and I've just added a touch of Wink of Stella on those flowers to give them a little bit of bling, and then on the inside I've created a matching frame. And again, done a little bit of those flowers and a happy birthday. But this would be a lovely just thinking of you, get well, just a note, any of those sorts of cards, and really easy to send. You just pop a little bit of bubble wrap over your dome when you pop it in your envelope, and they will arrive in perfect condition because they're very, very sturdy. So that's our lovely jar. Yeah, so you have to make a few of those. Here's another one that I did earlier. And that's got a little bit of matching designer paper, and this is on our Poppy Parade card base with a little bit of a greeting. And on this one you can see that I actually stamped the stems, and the stems are part of the stamp set. I'll just move those over so you can see those. They're the stems, and then you can just add those into the jar if you want to. And again, because they're all polymer, they're really easy to see. So lining up is really quite a breeze if you struggle with that. And again, that's where the Stamparatus really comes in handy. If you do struggle getting things lined up, then with the Stamparatus, it really does take all of those challenges out of the equation. So that's our lovely jar. So let me show you the lovely dome one now. I'll just pop all these to one side.
They are just gorgeous, Tracy. That just makes it so much simpler. And to have the adhesive on both sides of the dome just makes it really simple.
I know. We're so blessed, aren't we? It's just, honestly, it's just taken the whole challenge out of it for me. So this is the other set that I was showing you. This is what the reason I call it a snow globe is that this stamp set and framelits were released at Christmas last year. So this was the stamp set that's still available in our current catalogue with the matching framelits. But now we've got matching framelits. We've got other stamps that we can use this great set with, which just makes the whole investment far more economical. So let me show you this lovely whale card. And as I said, I'm really in love with the whale. He is absolutely adorable. He's got the cutest face. We've got a couple of new embossing folders. One this is actually called Old World. So it's supposed to be like an old world paper, but it reminded me of the ocean, like a really choppy sort of ocean. And then the other stamp set in the suite with the whale is this beautiful one that's called Seabed. So I'm hoping you can see that with the
It's a little bit hard to see that detail.
yeah, yes, I thought it might be. It's just got coral and starfish and all of those sorts of lovely things. Okay, so let me show you how I did the whale. The whale has a couple of extra steps, but ones I'm sure you'll be able to follow quite easily. So first of all, you need to get your cardstock to cut out your dome. So you're going to do that first. Just like so, and run that through your cutting machine. Then once you've got this piece, you're going to run it through an embossing folder. So you must cut first and then emboss it. Otherwise, if you emboss first and then cut, your embossed panel will go flat again because you're running it back through the big shot. I'm sure there's lots of people out there nodding their head smiling because we've all wasted cardstock. We've all wasted cardstock doing that. So simple step, cut first, emboss second. So once you've got your embossed panel, we're going to do exactly what we did with the jar. So we're going to get our dome jar, our dome seal, which is this one here. So again, we're going to take off our lovely sticky top, which is just here. Oh dear, don't work with sticky. There we go. Don't work with children, animals and sticky globes. And then we'll do exactly the same. So we're going to pop that over. Whoop, and start from the top and just gently push that down so you get a nice snug fit. This is our beautiful Just Jade. It's one of our new ink colours, which is really lovely. So then we're going to turn that over. Now this one, it will be a little bit different. So in our beautiful snail. I'm getting my snail and my whale mixed up. In our beautiful whale suite, we've got this gorgeous matching paper. So he fits, obviously, our punch perfectly. And you get two pieces. They're all 6x6, but you get two pieces with lovely different coloured whales. So there's Just Jade, Blackberry Bliss, Night of Navy and Pacific Point. And then on the other cards, on the other pieces, there's lots of lovely designs that are all obviously very much ocean driven, but they've got coral and sea urchins, seahorses, which are my favourite, and beautiful turtles and so on. So, and people always ask me, you know, how do I come up with my colour combinations for my cards? And on the back of our designer paper packet, it actually tells me all the colours that are in the paper. So I can easily, I might just lift that up a little bit. So I use this as a guide to choose the base colours for my card and my colouring. So again, it just takes all the guessing out of, you know, because that's sometimes the hardest thing is trying to work out, oh, what colour card base, what colour mount, what colour pens will I use? Where if you've got something to start you off as a guide, it just makes life really easy. And it also means that your projects come together really quickly. So I actually punched a few of these out. So I'll just show you those. I've got them here. So here's a couple of our little whales. And I also cut out a little bit of our designer paper using the dome. So just so you can see that I've got that, and that will fit perfectly in the back of my snow globe, of my dome. So I'll pop that to one side. So let's go back to our card. So here's our base card, and we've got lovely whale sequins, that have got little oyster shells and looks like treasure to me, you know, like a little bit like a pirate's treasure chest, which is always fun. So there are lovely sequins. So again, we'll do what we did before. I've got a window sheet, which will be a little bit hard to see, and my cut out. And you could use either side. I've got the one with the seahorses, but you could easily use the one with the waves on it, which is lovely. But I'm going to go with the seahorses today. So I'm just going to stick that onto my window sheet. Like so. And I'm going to choose my whale. He's so lovely. I'm going to pop him up on a couple of dimensionals just to give him a little bit of a lift. We'll just take the backs off those. And you need to pop him sort of almost a third of the way up, because remember, you've got the base of your card here, and you also will have some of your beads. So you don't want to have him too low, because you will sort of cover him up, which would be a terrible shame. And then we'll do exactly the same as what we did with the jar. So we'll get our little pokey tool and take our backing off. There we go. And then turn that around and then pop that in place into our dome. Just scoot around the edges, and that will give you a good seal. This is really easy to stick as well, so you can use double-sided tape. You could use Tombow or multi-purpose glue. So anything like that, just because it's shiny, it will still stick to a card front. And then there you've got our lovely whale in the ocean. Now you'll see here that these sequins have just stuck a little bit to the inside. Initially when you put them in, there is just a little bit of static, but you'll find over the next hour or so that will dissipate and they'll just fall to the bottom. So, and you might have to gauge, you know, how many sequins you put in, or if you want more or less. It's really just to give the card a little bit of fun. And then, of course, you're just going to pop that onto a card front and build your base. So in the framelets, we have the option of a plain base or a lovely decorative base. And I've used both here, as you can see, but I do have another special card to show you, which again is a shaker card, but it's actually got water in it.
No.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited about this card. So I don't know if you remember, but last October at Picture to Page in Sandown, I ran a class that actually showcased the new domes, and we made a Christmas ornament and we made a beautiful Aussie Christmas card. And I've got that here for you, just so it might jog a few memories. And we actually so this water has been in this card since last October.
Wow.
Exactly, and it's perfect. So no leakage, nothing. So they really are very, very good quality domes. And again, with that seal that we did here, so that nice pinch seal, that's all you need. I did not do anything special. I just put a little drop of water in. There's actually on the inside of the dome, which will be hard for you to see, I think, on the camera, there is a little lip, and I just gently ran this under the tap and didn't go over the lip, and then popped in my sequins and then stuck it down onto my card. So how cute is that? And I used the designer paper to build my base. So that's got coral, you know, a little bit of seaweed on it, and then a little bit of our beautiful new ribbon. And then on the inside, I did let me just show you this little guy here, you see? So I thought, waste not, want not, let's just punch him out. And then I used the other little pieces of the punch to create the spray. And we're very big on birthdays in our family. We always have been. Birthdays are a super, super big deal. So I love this saying because it is it's just perfect. But yeah, so I think you'll have lots of fun with these. Experiment without taking the sticky off. So make sure that you're getting your frame centered. Let me just get this card again. So just make sure that you're getting everything centered and everything feels right. So you don't need to be, taking these off and wasting them. You can just practice by cutting them out, getting your designer paper, working on your card fronts and your color combinations. And then once you're happy, then give one a go. And as I said, it doesn't matter if it's beads, sequins, any of those type of fine little gems or jewels that will easily shake in a card will just give you a beautiful effect. Obviously, when you're doing the water, you need to pop your water in and then your window sheet and then build your whale behind that, because otherwise the water will damage your paper that's behind it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that makes sense.
Yes, yeah. So you just need to remember. So basically what you're making is just like almost like a little airlock full of water and sequins. You're putting your window sheet on and then you'll build your scene behind the window sheet so you can still see it. And it was a little bit hard to do the water today because I was a bit worried that we might not quite manage it, but I thought, well, I'll make one to show everybody so that you know that that's possible. And of course it will work just as well with the jar. You could easily put water in the jar. So, the flowers look like they're actually in a vase, which I think's, really, really good idea. So that's pretty much it. I do have another card actually that I also made using the whale set. I did tell you I was a little bit obsessed. And this is just one of those lovely tri-panel cards. So it's sort of using a whole sheet of 6x6 paper, and then it's cut. So if you can see that there, and then it's just cut into panels and a little bit of a fancy fold. So if anybody's interested in how you do that, let me know. I am going to be putting a couple of kits available, so kits by mail available for the month of July, both using the jar and the whale. And so I'll put those on my Facebook page as well, and they'll be in my July newsletter that's due to go out on Friday if anybody subscribes to that. And if you don't and you'd like to get my newsletter with my classes and bits and pieces, again, just send me a message via my Facebook page. Mm-hmm. But yeah, has anybody got any questions?
I think we're all good, so I'll give you a moment to get your camera back around.
Thank you.
Excellent. So how just delightful were those cards? I'm just absolutely smitten, and what a fantastic way that Stampin' Up's really thought about how to make it simple, because previously we'd be cutting, we'd be trying to mould foam tape to give it that depth, we'd be using acetate, which isn't probably quite as strong as those domes as well. And I really love how you can put anything into it. Another thing that works well is if you've got a small punch, you can punch out your own confetti and pop that into the card as well. Yeah. Excellent. So that was just fantastic. If you just move your camera over a little bit so we'll have you back in the middle.
How's that?
Yeah, that's better. Thanks, Tracy. No, thank you so much for showing us. So
you're welcome.
We had your Facebook address just on the video before, so people will definitely be able to find you. And how often does your newsletter go out?
It's every single month, so it's normally out by the 4th or 5th of every month, because sometimes Stampin' Up don't create a promotion until, say, the 3rd. It starts on the 3rd of the month. Right. And it's silly to send a newsletter on the 1st just to send another one on the 3rd. Mm-hmm. So depending on what month it is will depend on whether there's a little bit of a delay in terms of a couple of days. But every single month that newsletter goes out just via email. All my details are in it, of course, and people can subscribe.
Excellent. And are you running in-person classes at the moment or online? What are you up to?
Yeah, so I am doing, I'm doing a lot more kits by mail, but I am doing small classes of 5 people only, so we can maintain social distancing. I actually have a 10-seater dining table, so I'm able to space people out really comfortably. And, you know, I get people to bring their own paper snips and their own adhesive. So it's sort of, and we have a sort of packaged supper, and so it's all
lovely.
very carefully thought out. So and I'm available to go to people's homes if they're happy with that. But again, there needs to be no more than 5 guests, you know, 4 guests plus me. And so I know it's a really tough time, and I'm a very in-person crafter. You know, that's why I love to craft, because I love the connection. So for me, I've really missed seeing all my regulars.
Yeah, it's certainly been a tough time.
Yes, and the shows.
Let's not even start on the shows. But yes, it really is a way. And that's why we're lucky we still got the technology and the internet, so we can still connect with people. And it was going to be fantastic when we can all get back together in person.
Absolutely. I think everybody will appreciate it so much more and be so grateful.
Yeah, and hopefully everyone's had a chance to use all the products that they've been storing up for so long, and give them a go, and then they can get back to us with any questions.
Yeah, absolutely. All that designer paper that we hoard.
Hoard, keep for good use. No hoarding involved.
Collect.
Excellent. Well, Tracy, thank you so much for coming and showing us your shaker cards
today. My pleasure. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, Tracy. Excellent. So as Tracy said, you can get in touch with her on her Facebook page, tracypenn.stamping, or of course we'll have the link over our website as well as a replay of the video. So if you get your hands on one of those kits, what a fantastic way to go back, revisit the class, and then put it together as well. I can think of so many applications, as Tracy said, whether it's small children in love with the ocean or more mail cards. The flowers would just be perfect for get well or thinking of you, or a sympathy card. Just so many uses. And of course, that's what we love about paper crafting, is that our supplies can be used so many different ways, and of course bring us joy and joy to those around us as well. So head over to our website from picture2pageandbeyond.com.au for all the details, catch up on what's going on for season 2, all the links, and of course make sure you sign up to our newsletter as well. So this is Michelle signing off. We hope you have a crafty day.